Hi guys, welcome to the weekend wrap number 4. We're back. Hope you guys are doing well. Another action-packed weekend of Premier League action. We've just been watching Liverpool against Spurs in the Premier League. Liverpool 2, Tottenham 2, action-packed game. Absolute madness towards the end in the last 5 minutes. Dean, you only watched the last half an hour, and I think I said you watched most of the game then, because that's when it really popped off. I mean, Liverpool were pretty good in the first half, but apart from that, Tottenham dominated the game, should have won, and especially when you look at the penalties as well. What are you making them penalties?
This goes back to the refereeing, and the refereeing's a bit dodgy. Like the first one, I thought he was offside. And I thought that on first viewing, I thought he dived. I thought there was probably minimal contact, if any. Looking back, obviously, he probably gets a touch on him, but I think it's a bit soft. Fair play, it's one of them can get called, so as the penalty, shocking penalty. Supposed to get 100 goals in the Prem.
That was playing on his mind, innit?
I don't know. I didn't think before that, but I thought once he missed it, I was thinking maybe the pressure's getting to him, mate. I don't know. But the penalty itself was shocking. Like, he looked like he whipped it, but he whipped it straight down the middle. Yeah, it was
unless he thought the keeper was going to dive, and then it was what he was supposed to do and hit it down the middle. But it was an unorthodox penalty, and his run up just seemed proper awkward. I was surprised to see him step up and take the second one.
Nah, fair play to him though. Fair play to him.
Were you surprised to see him take it? Not Eriksen step up or anything like that.
Nah, he comes across to me like that kind of striker, and like if he misses, just in general shots, if he misses one, it doesn't kind of knock his confidence. And I think fair play to him, he come back, and because I was thinking at the time, I think it was Karius in goal, and I think if I was Karius, I seen him step forward, but I'd have been just bantering him, like saying you're going down the middle again, and it really like, just to kind of, and then obviously he's just buried you. So, but now fair play to him. Like I say, at the time, he doesn't strike me like that way, but Kane looks proper confident regardless. And
there was some dodgy refereeing decisions in that as well. Some good refereeing decisions too. I say good, that just means right. But you look at the penalty decision that was made by the linesman. He got it right, but it was just strange that the referee, who was stood in front of it, almost, kind of said definitely no, he waved it off. And then the linesman gives it, and he takes the linesman's decision even though he was in a better position. Yeah,
but again, that's a fair play to the linesman for giving it.
Yeah, I have to rate the linesman. For
some linesmen, it's easy for a linesman to just carry. If the ref didn't see, it's easy for the linesman to just ignore it. So fair play to the linesman calling it. But I just don't think you get 2 penalties. I think it was at the cop end as well. And it's like, do you get two penalties at the cop in like last 10 minutes or something? Probably not. So fair play to the linesman. Obviously, the right decisions. And the thing that made me kind of laugh was the fact that it was Van Dijk who caused the penalty, and I'm thinking, like, again, obviously not that one little action can define your worth, but you pay 75 million, you don't expect little, like, you're winning a game. You don't expect that from a £75 million player, in my opinion, which I just thought was a bit comical.
I found Souness funny after. I just mentioned it to you before we came on air, how his reaction to it was, oh yeah, it was a good game, when he would have been slating the defenders if it was any other team, most notably Man United, and particularly if we spent 75 million. You're always chatting about Pogba's fee. I just found that quite funny. Going to get into the comments for comment section for a second. Did you see the linesman celebrating when the ref gave his?
I've seen that on Twitter. Like, that's dodgy. Like, when I saw that, it may just they were gonna play it off as nothing, but that's dodgy to me. Like,
do you think it was
the right decision? But you don't. Do you
think he was just happy that he had listened to him?
I don't know. I don't think referees, like, they need to have an. You know what I'm saying? He's only offering his opinion, and if you're an assistant ref at the same time, so it's like, as long as you kind of make the right call, I think that's all you can do. But it looks dodgy. Like, if anyone starts pumping it, if I'm in an away stand, if I'm sitting in the home section of, say, United, and then the opposition get a penalty or score, and someone pumps his fist like that, I think he's supporting them, innit? Like, why would you be pumping your fist? Like, so that's dodgy to me.
Neil says perfect result for United, 5 points ahead of Liverpool, 7 of Spurs, still got Liverpool at home. were you rooting for one side over the other? Do you fear one more than the other out of these two teams in terms of that could possibly pip us to our second spot?
On their day, I think they're both good teams. The way I see it is, I know a lot of Man United fans do seem to obviously look out for Liverpool's results and kind of hope Liverpool get bad results. I rather don't.
I'm one of them.
Yeah, I rather don't, man. I just see it as in a league situation over 38 games, Manchester United should be better than Liverpool. So I'm not gonna sit around and obviously hope that they drop points here and there, because at the same time we do. But I don't take joy in their defeat when it's not against United. I couldn't. Don't make no odds to me. But in terms of what's staying there, I mean, I think the squad that we've got should be capable of increasing the gap, if anything. I mean, I'm not, as much as we are kind of looking back, because I said just after the game, it makes me sick that obviously we're only 5 points ahead of Liverpool. As bad as like everyone will make a joke about how Liverpool are, etc. We're not even 2 wins better than them, or after the amount of games we've had. And to me, that's kind of like, I'm looking at United and I'm thinking, like, as much as we kind of have improved, it's like, looking at it, it's like, although Liverpool are like kind of shocking at times, it's like they must have improved, or because they're not that far from us. Like at the same time,
I think it's a case they have kind of improved, but we have dipped over the last few years, and we're still comfortably better than them, I think. Yeah,
obviously, in terms obviously we still obviously fighting in the Champions League or whatever, but I'm just like, the way I see it, like I said, I just think that we need to kind of. We have to be obviously aware of these teams, but at the same time, we are Man United. We need to just go and win the last,
you still like when they lose, though, isn't it?
It's fine. Them like if they lose, and it like man. I just think with the remaining games, we should be getting enough points to finish second. It's not even. We're already, like I said, we're 5 points ahead. We shouldn't even be thinking about. If I'm hearing about how many points close we are to Liverpool by the end of the season, that's
that's problems, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not a good sign, isn't it? So
you have to look up, not down.
Yeah, for real.
Talking about Liverpool though, go on. What were you going to say?
I was going to say about like again.
Like, I was going to bring it on there. So go on.
Get on to Liverpool, but it's like Mo Salah. Yeah, Mo Salah is just he's just technically just nasty. Like absolutely just puts teams to the sword, man. Just like by himself, man. He's class for the money. I think they paid for him. I think 36 million or 37 million. I think that's good business. That is like as much as like I say, like I'll get on like say Virgil van Dijk for he's giving away that penalty, and like Salah's class. Like I don't know. I was kind of when they did get the equalising goal, Spurs from the spot. I was kind of just again. I by no means do I like want Liverpool to do well in anything, but I kind of feeling sorry for Mo Salah because I'm thinking, like, imagine you were as good as Mo Salah. Your man's got 21 Premiership goals or something like that now, and again you get a last minute goal, and then your man just go and kicks Lamella, and he's where's he going? I don't know, man, but Mo Salah is class.
Yeah, he's very good. Where is he in the top goal scorers at the moment?
He's top now.
He's taken over Harry Kane, or was Harry Kane never ahead of him?
I don't think he was ahead of him.
Harry Kane is ahead of him. 22. Mo Salah 21. I think he went level with Kane when he scored. So Harry Kane's on 22. But Mo Salah's got 6 assists to Harry Kane's 1.
Imagine that when you're Salah and you think, yeah, I'm level on points with Kane now.
And he's got a better goals per minute ratio Salah has. Lukaku's goal per minute ratio is 1 in 2. Exactly. 180 minutes per goal. 12 goals, 5 assists. Raheem Sterling's 14 goals, 6 assists. He's surprising me the most. You expect Kane, Aguero, Lukaku, Vardy to be there, but do you expect? Well, he's got 12, isn't it?
I don't expect to be a fair play to him, though.
Do you expect Sterling to be there?
I don't expect him to be there because I'm not a massive fan of his, but he's where the goals are at.
Talking about goals,
I mean, he missed a sitter against Burnley, absolute sitter.
You did, yeah. Was that the sitter of the season?
I don't know. I think in the Crystal Palace today, I didn't watch it, but
Zaha's
Benteke, I heard that he missed the open goal as well.
Zaha missed a sitter today where he kind of come across the goal 6 yards out. He's hit it, but he's kind of hit it down. When if he just hits it straight, it goes in, and he's hit it down and it's deflected off someone. I can't remember if I did watch that game, but it was Crystal Palace, so I was kind of like not watching that game. I was watching Football Manager as well at the same time. Brutal refereeing all weekend between McTominay and the Liverpool-Tottenham game, says Marco. We're going to get onto bad refereeing decisions because me and Dean were both at the game, both in the Stretford end, and we both witnessed that horrible decision in the Manchester United game. Thankfully, it didn't affect the result. We're also going to talk about Harry Kane. Today was his 100th Premier League goal. Can he beat Alan Shearer's record, the all-time record? Alan Shearer's on 260, I believe. He's on 100 now. So can he do that? We'll be answering your questions. We'll be talking about Aubameyang and Mkhitaryan linking up for Arsenal. But I think while we're on the Spurs-Liverpool game, it's best to probably talk about Harry Kane. Harry Kane, 3-4 seasons ago. I think it's a bit... I think it's said too much, and I think it's become a bit of a myth. Not many people said he was going to be a one-season wonder. People just said, let's see if he can do it again. He has done it again. 100 Premier League goals in 4 seasons. What do you make of Harry Kane?
Yeah, I mean, just to start with, I mean, I never... When he first came into... When he came into the Spurs team, I seen him... I just didn't rate him. I think he scored a couple of goals. I think it was Sherwood who give him the break kind of thing in the first team. And I seen him obviously got goals, but I just didn't think technical or anything. I didn't think he was that good. The more I've seen him, I just think he's class. I mean, a couple of seasons ago he played. You know, when we played Spurs first game of the season, and it's like obviously there was all that talk in the summer when Van Gaal was in charge. Like, oh, we're gonna go for Kane, and we didn't go and get him. But then I was just thinking, like, let's see him when obviously he does play against United. And I thought at the time he was one of the best players on the pitch at that point. Because I was thinking, I just thought he was getting helped by a lot of the people around him, but he himself can actually make goals out of nothing, and he's class. And the more I've seen him, he just looks like he's deadly in front of a goal. Like, obviously, he
scores all sorts of goals as well, from outside the box, inside the box, headers, left foot, right foot, free kicks, penalties. We missed one today, scored one today. But he scores all sorts of goals. At the moment, he's level on goals with Matt Letizia. 100 goals is 26th in the all-time list. He's 4 behind Didier Drogba, 6 behind Crouch, Bent, Scholes. He's 7 behind Scholes, 9 behind Giggs. Lukaku's 3 behind him. I'm going to bring up Lukaku's info as well. Harry Kane's got 100 goals and 141 appearances in the Premier League. But he did do a lot of his development years in the lower divisions. So you know where, like if you look at Lukaku's, I know already he's going to have more appearances. 211. He had a lot of years where he was still developing, whereas Harry Kane was playing in the Championship with Leicester and Millwall and all that. But 100 goals, 141.
That's kind of testing.
Harry Kane's the best striker in the Premier League, right?
Yeah, I think you'd have to say that, really. Like, based on his...
I think Aguero... I've always said Aguero, but I think Harry Kane's starting to sway me, simply because of the fact he carries the team.
Yeah, well, I think in terms of... I think Aguero's been the best striker in the Premier prior up until the season, but in terms of... Obviously, Aguero don't play as much for City now, and his position doesn't even seem quite as sure there. I think he's class. I think... Obviously going off the topic, but it's like he was a steal for like 39 mil or whatever they paid for him. I think United should have signed him, because I knew about Aguero.
Everyone knew about Aguero, but that was around the time when Fergie was kind of covering for the Glazers and no value in the market. We signed Phil Jones at that point.
Yeah, was he about 16 mil? Yeah, so he wasn't cheap.
Yeah.
Right, so, but Kane, at the moment he's the best striker, I think. Pure base, obviously, Aguero don't play all the time, and even if he does, I think if he was playing as a lone striker, unless you probably City the way they're settled, Kane's probably the striker you'd pick for. If any team could pick a striker, I think you'd pick Kane. Yeah, I mean, his goal scoring is just a joke. So, like I said, I'd say is
he going to beat Alan Shearer's record? He's got 104 years, let's say, 4 seasons. Is he going to get Shearer's record of 260? You'd say he needs to go, what, another 6 seasons in the Prem? Without getting serious injury?
Yeah, I'd think 7.
7, 8. 7, 8.
I think you could
on the safe side.
But I think it depends where. Like, if he stays at Spurs, if he's the best player at Spurs, then potentially you could do. But I'm just thinking, for example, if he was at United, he'd have 20 tap-ins a season. You know what I mean? So it's like you could
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You could hit 30 goals a season. You know what I'm saying? Like 25 plus, not just getting a 20. And it's like you could get that very, very.
He's going to get 25 plus this season, though. I mean, how much did we say?
That's in a Spurs team where he's like
22. He's got 20 plus.
It's like that's in a team where he has to like. Not, obviously, I think we're better than Spurs, but I think you just get more chances in the United team. And it's one of them. I think if you come to United, I think you potentially get more. But I think he could still break it at Spurs. That's what I was thinking. Coming back to my point, but obviously he's the best striker. Kane, if he does it, if he beats Shearer's record, that's fair play. But the one thing that I think kind of does test Kane is coming away from the Premiership. Is like if he is the best striker in the Prem, you should be able to. You know when he plays for, I'm not a big England fan or whatever. But
yeah.
When it's like the World Cup, like how like some of the big players, like literally, you know, like how like Ronaldo for Portugal. Obviously they've got some other decent players, but you know, like he can take them to another level. And it's like. For me, Kane, if you're as good as you kind of are in the Prem, you need to be like, He needs to do
what he does for Spurs for England, basically, innit? Because he leads from the front for Spurs.
You need to be, if you're, because that's how Spurs have been as good. Really, is like because they've had Kane. It's like England can be kind of whack, but if you've got like you know what I'm saying, if he's kind of, you want to be the top striker in Europe or whatever, you know what I'm saying, you need to be kind of dragging England to wherever they need to go just by your goals, you know them ones. Like, and I think that's what would be interesting to see with Harry Kane in the summer is like, what are you gonna do for England? Like, or are you just gonna like fall into the background like Henderson or something? You know, like you know what I'm saying? Like these players who like they may be bigged up to be big in the Prem, but in reality they're not. And it's like, but Kane, you actually looking like you could be one of the best strikers in the world. Oh, you are one of the, you know what I'm saying? You're in. He's arguably at the moment because
he is one of the. He's top 5, top 3. At the moment, you got Cavani who's bossing it,
Suarez,
but I wouldn't put Cavani's not in Kane's league. I don't think. I think Cavani's great, but he's playing in league. He's playing in the French league. You get me?
He was sick at Napoli though.
Yeah, Ciro Immobile 20 goals for Lazio. Messi, you can't count Messi in that conversation.
I'm just thinking in Benzema, Suarez,
Robert Lewandowski.
Yeah, Lewandowski, probably Kane.
I think Kane's top 3.
I think him was, I don't know, like them Lewandowski.
At the moment, you've got to say that. Look at it last year. Didn't he get as much or if not more goals than Ronaldo and Messi? Was he?
Yeah, I think in the calendar year of 2017 he did.
Yeah,
but it's like again, I think if you,
one of the best.
Suarez can just for Uruguay. Suarez is massive. You know what I'm saying? Like I think Lewandowski plays for Poland or whatever. And also they don't do great, but it's like they do a lot better because he's in the team. And it's like Kane, obviously again I think he's that, but it's kind of I don't know, like I don't know, are you gonna do it for England? Because they were kind of a
Michael agrees with you there. So it's a great point about the World Cup. If anyone's to break it, it's going to be Harry Kane. So don't count out Lukaku if he stays at Man United for all that time.
Yeah, but again, is he gonna? I don't know.
If he stays at Man United, he's going to get 20 league goals this season. If he stays at Man United,
97, I think.
97. He's gonna get into 100 this year. He's gonna get into 100 this year. So he's right.
25.
Yeah, he's 24. So let's see. Say he spends 6, 7. Let's say the same as Kane in 7, 8 years. 20 goals a season.
He could. This is the thing. Again, it's like in a United.
And Kane's gone to Madrid.
But that's the thing. I think Harry Kane. I don't know him or anything. This is just what I'm hypothesizing in my head. But I have a feeling that Kane really would want that title of the Premiership's leading top goal scorer. So that's why I think Kane will probably stay in England. It's just I don't think you'd go to Madrid, but it's like you could just stay at Spurs and like like kind of be a Gerrard of where like you kind of stay at your own club or whatever. But if he does go to United, I just think he could like. Obviously, at the moment we wouldn't. I don't see. There's not a position where at the moment we don't need to sign him really, and like
who.
Harry Kane, like
but
you're not gonna have Harry Kane and Lukaku in the same squad. And
And
how much is Daniel Levy gonna want? How much would you have if you was Spurs?
200 mil. Possibly you can't even say that stupid moment.
0.2 billion.
You're asking
for no one.
Look, if Coutinho can go for 142 million, that changes. I don't even think the Neymar thing changes things. But Neymar doesn't change things because Neymar is possibly worth it, but. When you look at how can Coutinho go for 100? So if you're saying that
just got 100
Daniel Levy can say, all right, 150 million is our starting point for negotiations easily.
No, but again, it's like, well, you could say that, but it's like, if someone said that to me, it's like, that's your logic, I'll continue with this. I'd say, well, bro, you know what I'm saying? We at Barcelona here was like, we was done over by putting a ridiculous buyout clause in Neymar's contract. Someone like, with like, PSG
yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. And whatever, and it's like, you know what I'm saying? So it's not, that's not, you know what I'm saying? That's just like, you've got someone with lots of money who don't really care. So just because we then had that money and we had to spend it, and then people who was buying off knew we had 196 million or whatever it is, or whatever it was for Neymar. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we can't go there and say we're broke, because they'll be like, bro, we just seen you sold Neymar in it, like, so we know you got money. So at the same time, that's the only thing I think with transfers is like that's why nowadays I think it's down to kind of what a team is willing to pay for a player, as opposed to, because like I said, Spurs could say like, oh, you want 200 million for him, good for you, but it's like, if I was a club, I won't pay 200 million for a player.
Yeah.
Not if you know what I'm saying. United don't have to, and then, well, I would think I don't think the Glazers want to spend 200 million on one striker. Is
he as lucrative as well commercially, you think? Harry Kane.
Yeah, like I say, because if imagine again, this is gonna sound far.
JSB says he's a Spurs fan, and he says Levy would easily get 200 mil plus.
Yeah, he probably would, but for example, obviously this is very out there. But imagine if England won the World Cup just because Kane just dragged them there. You know, them was literally his best striker. Say he's the best striker in the competition. Just gets 10 goals in the competition, and literally, because 10 goals, if someone scores 10 goals for you in the World Cup, more time that player's going to be in the final, and it's like, it's only a 90-minute game of football. So imagine he did that, and Kane did it by himself. How marketable is Kane?
Definitely worth 200 million.
Yeah, but then you would want more from him. But I'm saying, like, so it's like, you could pay, if we paid 200 mil for him now, or before.
So is that the difference then? Making
something like that.
Maybe like, it's unlikely Spurs are going to win the Champions League, but doing it on that Champions League level where he's top goal scorer in Europe, or, you know, with England, is that what's going to get him his move to Real Madrid? Or do you think? I think Real Madrid would take him now.
Yeah, no, I think Madrid would take him. I think most teams would take him.
Everyone would take him.
So I don't think that if for example, like I say, like this, you think of the pressure change if you go from Spurs, where now you're the best player at Spurs, and we kind of need you to play well. Whereas if you come to Madrid, you have to play. It's not like,
and if you don't, the white flags are waving, and
bro, it's not nice. You know, them ones. We're not speaking language. Like Ramos runs the dressing room. You know what I'm saying? All this sort of stuff, and it's like, you could do that if he does. Obviously, that's up to him. But it's like, you could just stay at Spurs, where you're the, like, your team probably ain't got the money of City, United, even Chelsea, but you can kind of compete with them because you're so sick. Because that's kind of that's what's happened in the last couple of years.
Jay O'Connell says Kane has had 105 shots, Lukaku 57 this season.
Yeah, I hear that.
Kind of showing about the
his conversions better than that. But it's like, at the same time, like, if you're coming off this pitch and you scored, as you know what I'm saying, you scored more. Don't, like, if I've shot more than you, that, what does that say? You know what I'm saying? I just shoot more than you. Like, I know you, like, you can say, like, but look, in that sense, it's like, Lukaku, you need to shoot more often, because if you're as accurate as you say, mate, you need to be shooting more because you'll score more in it. Like, that's the kind of logic.
I think we do need to create more opportunities. Remay says he wants to see Eriksen in the United shirt. Cayman says Kane would go to United or City in the future if Spurs do not start winning trophies. I think it's important Spurs start winning trophies ASAP to keep Harry Kane. Nevertheless, got to move on a little bit now. Moving on to the Manchester United vs Huddersfield game. So for you guys that have been complaining about the lack of Manchester United talk, remember, this is a weekend wrap. We talk about the Premier League, but we are going to talk a little bit about the United game now. Man United 2, Huddersfield 0. Juan Mata's great pass for Lukaku, decent finish, 1-0. Alexis Sanchez saved penalty, tucks it in, got a bit lucky, but he deserved that luck throughout the game. United get a deserved 2-0 win. Jose said even at 1-0 I knew we were going to win. It never looked like Huddersfield was scoring. I think that's fair. But after all that, when I got home, I could still only think about that McTominay challenge. And even the initial reaction in the stadium was penalty. No ifs, no buts, no maybes. The ref pointing to the spot any minute now. What were your initial reactions to that decision? And what did you think of the challenge?
I mean, I was reviewing it again. I was like, my mouth was just open. You know, like, when it happened, I was thinking, like, yo, your man has just got absolutely just taken out. That's what I was thinking at the time. Cause I was just thinking,
that's illegal, like, on a rugby pitch.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. To me, it was like, it's obvious something's getting given, because your man has just got absolutely taken out. And the only thing was, I was thinking at the time, obviously it looked like that McTominay actually wins the header and then gets clattered. And I was just thinking, is it...
No, he definitely won the header.
Did he head it against the geezer or so? Because obviously looked like to me the ball went away, but I'm thinking, obviously, because I'm not as close as obviously the ref, I'm thinking the only way this could not be like a penalty is if your man has got the ball. But like, it's so obvious, and I'm thinking, it just looked like assault, man. It looked crazy. I was surprised, obviously, McTominay can take a lick, but your man, most man ain't probably getting up from that. Because I know, obviously, again, like I ain't played football to no high level, but I've had, you know, when you do jump and once you kind of your momentum's in the air and someone hits from the side, when you hit the floor, that hurts. You know, it's like I was just kind of surprised that he was able to just.
Especially because you're going, you got a lick in your chair, you're going back in the opposite direction. It was a crazy challenge, and it was just like, what did he think he was going to do? Because his head never came in like he was trying to head it. Because if it does, he gets a head clash maybe. Like, he just come to let him know, I'm here, you're going to feel this challenge now. But it was a stonewall foul. Like, forget penalty, free kick, whatever. That's a foul anywhere on the pitch. Possibly a red for dangerous, but I'd say that's harsh. Because it's just a late kind of shoulder barge in the air.
I don't think there was as much malicious intent kind of thing. I think it is a foul in it, but it's like I said, when I saw it, I'm thinking that's gonna hurt. So obviously I'm thinking a foul's getting given. But I was, like I said, I was more concerned with your man. But I'm thinking, if you're the ref, you can do like you'd blow the whistle and like you'd be looking at your man who fouled him and just like, bro, what can I do? You just took him out.
I think it was like, Matabi and Lukaku behind, like
like I don't know, man. Them kind of things from referees kind of baffle me, because I was saying to you, it's in the game. It's like if that's anywhere else on the pitch, it's a foul straight away. It's a foul. But the referee don't give it in the box, and it's like it's crazy. But I don't know. Again, I think the level of refereeing, he's just so inconsistent in England. It's crazy, it's just the level of refereeing.
And we've seen it for years now, like just odd decisions or it's just simple ones as well. Like maybe not as blatant as that McTominay one, because that's one like you see and you think, shit, he's got hurt. That's a bad challenge, blatant penalty. You know. That's so wrong in so many ways, but there's so many little decisions in games that go wrong as well. And you just think, how have you missed that? The ref said he didn't see it. He just stood in front of it. I've seen a picture of him. You can see the referee's head is looking at it, and it's happening in front of him.
But the thing is, it's like now the referees, a lot of the decisions they give, because I've seen some decisions, and it's like, you know, like if it's like what they class as like dangerous play or whatever, where it's like could endanger an opponent. And it's like, how is he not deemed that to be like?
But that's why I say it could have been a red, because endangering an opponent.
I'm not saying you should have got sent off, but by the kind of letter, the way they kind of the law they put out, it's like it's dangerous play, so we should go off. Like I said, I didn't want to get sent off or whatever, but because like I said, McTominay didn't even like he kind of got back up or whatever, but if that's not dangerous play, like yo,
well, I'm not one to over exaggerate. But I'm pretty sure that's the worst refereeing decision I've ever seen. With the referee where he was stood, with what happened, how it happened as well. Because McTominay is a big man and he's elevated in the air, so he's above everybody else. The ref's looking at it, he can see it, he gets clattered. Like, it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, so it's broad daylight. What else do you like? There's nothing. And then I thought, did someone run past him? Like, has something happened that has made him? Nah, none of that. So for me, I've seen Nani get sent off. Real Madrid, never a red card, but that was a yellow card.
Yeah, but it's kind of.
That was a yellow card, but like it was never a red card.
By the letter of the law, it's like you can. To me, it's like in that situation, again, it's like I don't think it's
that's arguable for you. So that's not as bad a decision, yeah. That has to be. I've not seen worse decisions at Sunday League, and I've seen bad decisions.
Nah, I don't know, man. I've seen some bad decisions, but again, like it's kind of where it's like if it's anywhere outside the box, I think 100%. I think it's a foul. I just think some types of fouls referees don't like to give in the box, and I just think, and again, obviously it's at Old Trafford. I don't kind of expect to get refereeing decisions, so.
It's gone a weird way now, isn't it? Like,
I didn't actually.
We used to always get.
I wasn't actually surprised. It was like I wasn't blowing my top. You know what I'm saying? When we didn't get the penalty, I was just like, Yeah, I'm just like I say, I was just shocked at how your man was taken out and nothing's given, and then like again, I'm kind of just being cool because I'm thinking, bro, we don't like, these refs don't give us.
Refs
nothing.
have gone weird. Like you can tell they react like, oh, the crowd think I'm gonna give it. I ain't giving this penalty. Like you think I'm some dickhead. Like, but it's the right decision, ref. You're not proving a point or making yourself look like a better ref by not giving a decision to Man United.
Yeah, even that, I was thinking at the time, it's okay. So we've got this VAR business. So. Well, it's not being used today. It's not being used in the game. It's like, so how come it's not being used today? But like, what did we have to do? We have to be lucky. Or even if VAR is in the game, do they then review that? What, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's a bit mad. But the thing that's mad now is, like I say, that is where some teams are having VAR, some are not, and then some people are getting benefits from it. Some are, you know what I'm saying? Because like when you get a decision overturned, that's like any other game that's playing and something happens, you've not got that. You've not got this like this hindsight that like that game had, and it can benefit. Like it'd be interesting to see. Like you know what I'm saying. Like obviously it's probably going to be small details at the minute, but you know, like a table without VAR, but then a table with VAR. So it's like, had the VAR decisions not been given, whatever. You know what I mean?
That's already on the internet, guaranteed. I
okay.
guarantee that's on the internet, like a website. Because I knew there was a website like, if referees work bias.com, and it was like a Premier League table, and like United are at the bottom.
Yeah.
And like yeah, you can tell it's made by some twisted guy, but there has to be a thing where someone's made that a VAR, if VAR was in it. Alexis took the penalty in the second half. Yeah, we know that, mate. He did talking about that though. Alexis's goal. Someone said in the comments, sorry I missed your comment. Sorry I missed your name. He said if we didn't have Alexis, it's 0-0. Now, I kind of disagree because you'd have another player on the pitch. Martial starts. You know, I don't think football's as clear cut as that. But in terms of the way the game went with Alexis in it, he was definitely the difference.
Yeah, I kind of agree with.
You agree with the guy? Let me find his name.
I kind of agree with your point, to be honest. I think he just made it. He made everything kind of click together. I thought Jesse Lingard did have a good game as well. So I think he can be kind of because they're similar. Like a lot of people were saying where like you sometimes when you're watching them, you get them like when you're sitting in the stadium, it's like you're getting them mixed up because they're the kind of same kind of build, similar competition, and you know what I'm saying. I think their boots are the same, but it's like they look the same and they move the same. But without Alexis, I think we would struggle. Like.
He takes some whacks as well. He was the joint most fouled player in a Premier League match yesterday, 7 fouls.
Yeah.
So someone's been fouled as much, but no one's been fouled more in a Premier League game.
I think. Sorry to cut you on that, but I just think just from being in the stadium, in the Stretford, and obviously you're standing the whole game. But if I wasn't standing, the moment I would start standing is when Alexis Sanchez gets the ball. That's how I know. That's how you know he's different. From, like literally, you kind of expect something to happen, and it's not so much unexpected. It's because something happens. You know, like literally, he'll get the ball. As soon as he gets the ball, he's looking to turn, and literally he's gone from whoever his first marker is. And there's again, Lingard can do it, Martial can do it, but I think even if Martial's in the team, for example, the team don't move up the pitch, whereas Alexis can literally just move us up the pitch quickly, and I think. I just think he's just class.
Even in terms of like, I know he loses the ball a lot, and that's apparent criticism from Arsenal fans now he's left them. But he does that because he's taking risks. We need people to take risks, and I reckon I would like to know like the stat of when he personally loses the ball, how many times he personally recovers it.
No,
like I would like to know what that stat is because I reckon it's pretty high. Like by high, probably like 40%, 50%, like. Because he's always coming back, and he's like in that aspect. When I remember turning to you at one point in the game when he ran all the way back after like 70 minutes after getting whacked and being like, that's why it was such like. Yes, Mkhitaryan's a fantastic footballer, but and we know it's an easy decision and all that. Sanchez is clearly better, but like he's so much more that's why he's perfect for us. Like with Man United being the number 7, getting you on your edge of your seat. But also with Mourinho, like this guy will run through walls for you, and it's infectious on the rest of the team as well.
Yeah, I just think if you think in terms of the actual deal, this is what I was thinking when I was at the game. Imagine, obviously, say if this is like Pro or FIFA or whatever. I play Pro Evo or whatever. But if you could literally just switch at that point, if Mkhitaryan's in that team, if you could say, I tell you what, instead of having Mkhitaryan, we're gonna switch you with Alexis Sanchez, and then he shows what he does on the pitch. 100% we got the way better deal.
Yeah.
Them as player, although Mkhitaryan is sick, and like I say, he has scored, he's got a couple assists or whatever for Arsenal. At the end of the day, he's sick, yes. Alexis Sanchez is a different level to him. And it's like the stuff that he offers the team, like you said, obviously he does try through balls and stuff that obviously are not always gonna work, but you kind of have to roll the dice. But he does, even when he does lose the ball, he's just on it like a little Yorkshire Terrier or something. You know, like literally, like as soon as he lost it, he's back at you. And even sometimes, like one thing I clocked was because he just keeps on moving, he kind of forces people into mistakes. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like certain things when he does win the ball back, sometimes it's like he was winning the ball back, and he's no right to win that there. Yeah. But it's like because he's just running at you so fast, it's like people just get scared. Like you know, like they're not being as composed.
If you know your winger there, if you're a centre half and your winger's over there, and you know he's just gonna jog back into his position, you're gonna be more composed on the ball than if you think, yo, that's Alexis Sanchez is gonna probably run over here any minute now. It's a whole different mindset. We spoke about Mkhitaryan briefly there, and we will talk about Arsenal 5, Everton 1 shortly. Mo and Randy, we were saying how key Sanchez was to the performance. Mo said we wouldn't have won without Mata, and Randy said unsung hero Mata. Great ball for Romelu Lukaku's goal. We need to do more of that for Lukaku. Someone mentioned earlier 57 shots for Lukaku, 107 for Kane. Are we creating enough chances? Like, is it just his fault when he's performing badly?
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's had less shots than Kane. I think they are different strikers at the same time. I think Kane does do a lot of stuff where he'll come deep, literally run at goal and just shoot. Yeah. And Kane's kind of, because he's the best player at Spurs, I think he's kind of afforded a lot more leeway than Lukaku is in terms of, because you are the best player, literally you can get the ball and just go and shoot, mate. Whereas Lukaku, he kind of has the ability to go and do that, but it would be kind of very selfish, you know, like with the attacking talent that we've got. Sometimes, or like it would be to say the common fan say me, it's like, yeah, you can just shoot, but at the same time, these teams are like the better teams are the ones that are patient, you know, them like you can just build up the play and then one killer pass or whatever. But I just think with Lukaku, I don't know, I think we obviously do need to create him chances, but I think he needs to take the onus upon himself to make his own chances. And I think he just we spoke yesterday with Rance, and he was kind of saying it with his touch, and it's like I think there are parts of his game that obviously needs to work on, and I just think he needs to do that. He needs to kind of be selfish at times. Yeah. Like if you want to be like at the same time, it is a team sport, but I think maybe Lukaku is just maybe not as selfish as Kane. Maybe that's what the statistics say.
Man, that's why Jose does like him, because he sacrifices a lot for the team. Talking about Mata and Lingard, do you think this is why we're kind of forced into playing this 4-2-3-1 because of their form and how good they've been? Yeah. And because if we play 4-3-3, we almost certainly lose both of them if we're playing our strongest 11. Is that a problem that we can't fit these guys into a formation that gets the best out of Pogba? Or do we have to sacrifice? Or can we? Can Lingard be that number 8? Can he play in a midfield 3?
I don't know. I think it depends who. Again, like there's different approaches for different types of games. I just think again it's like going back to the Spurs game. We set up in a certain way against them, got lost, and I said at the time, I guarantee you, Joe's going to change the team, and he's going to have to bring Mata back in, because Mata, and this I don't know, it'd be interesting to see what other people think, but I don't think that Jose likes Mata in terms of I don't think Mata's a Jose type of player. But when Mata plays, he's one of the most influential players, and he's one of the people who gets actual statistics in terms of assists and goals, and he will consistently, when he plays, he will get you that. And I just think there's kind of two United teams where there's one that's on paper if we're playing FIFA or Pro or whatever, this is the team we play with. But in actual fact, the other team is the one that actually works, like in terms of gets goals and stuff, and that includes Mata and Lingard. I think they've just not got as bigger names as kind of everyone else, and not necessarily their reputations, because I think, like I say, if you look at Mata's goal return and his assists when he plays, like I say, me personally, I
think he's one of the highest since he arrived at the club. He's got more goals and assists than most.
Yeah, but it doesn't shock me. But it's like to me, on the eye, he's not. For me, he's not quick enough. I think if he's quicker, then I think he's
the best player on the team.
Yeah, I think by far. But I think he's not quick enough, and he looks like he slows the game down. And sometimes, he never offers anything in. When you lump up the ball, he never offers nothing in the air. All this other stuff. But when he plays, he scores or he gets an assist, and it's honestly
it's a conundrum, isn't it?
He got substituted yesterday, and it's like he's the kind of the guy who comes off. Which is he's kind of okay with being that guy. We kind of let his contract run down 6 months or whatever, then probably give him a 1 year extension. And it's like, he must be looking at him just thinking like, bro, although I'm not like, obviously the fans don't sing for me like Martial or whatever. But
no, we do.
It's more frequent to just sing for Martial, probably because he's always bloody coming off.
Check out my match day vlog, we definitely do.
But I don't know. I just think that he gets it. Based on his statistics, he gets probably a bit hard done by, but I think something's got to be done with midfield. But I just think you'll end up going back to having
people in the comments need me to address that. Dreams, Keith Potts, they're all talking about your Dortmund gear. Do you want to explain yourself?
Yeah, I wear a lot of tracksuits. So, I like black and yellow. I listen to Wiz Khalifa. I seen the Dortmund tracksuit, and I thought, yeah.
I think it's quite nice, to be fair.
Yeah, no, I think it's alright. Obviously, no homo, but it's like the way I see it. Yeah, it's like if this is a LA Lakers tracksuit or New England Patriots or whatever, like it's just fashion, and it's not seen as probably like a sporting item, but. Obviously, Dortmund is just a nice tracksuit. I'm not a Dortmund
I didn't
fan.
expect such a serious answer, but we got it.
Yeah, nice. It's just
he's defended himself.
No, but I'm just saying what people are gonna say to me. But to me, it's just clothes. If people would prefer me to wear Hugo Boss, which was like manufactured for them, like you know what I'm saying, for the Nazis or something, like that people forget about. You know what I'm saying? Like so, you know what I'm saying. I'm just saying it's not that deep. It's just a Puma tracksuit with black and yellow emblazoned on it. It's not that deep.
Set Dean off. Started talking about Nazis. I didn't expect that.
People will wear stuff that you know what I'm saying. Like you go look up Hugo Boss.
I drive a VW, man. Shit.
That's what I'm saying. Like, but that's what I'm saying. But it's like no one have a problem with that. You get me? Don't have a look at some of these firms and that who you wearing garms for. Like
Paul Pogba in the comments says, as long as it's not blue, it's fine.
Never
that's fair enough, isn't it? That's fair enough. Yusuf says this might sound weird, but we could play Young on the right wing. How about no?
Young on the right wing. You could do if you.
No, if you was Villa.
It's just an option, isn't it? But it's like you could do it. I think it's a valid point. I just don't think you play him there often.
Wear a US women's soccer t-shirt. You're not gonna have a low cut and all that. What the hell are you on about? When we will start playing Ashley Young, keep Luke Shaw. Yeah, I agree with that as well. Dortmund's not his second team. I can answer that on your behalf. Dean don't have a second team. Anyway, moving on from that, we briefly mentioned Mkhitaryan earlier. Mkhitaryan, did you see the highlights?
Yeah.
Mkhitaryan got 3 assists. Aubameyang got a goal, but it was offside. But it was a good finish. Arsenal 5, Everton 1. I saw some of the goals. I've only seen the goals, yes, I haven't seen the full game. But some of the defending was awful.
Yeah. It's one of them, like, Arsenal are at home. Obviously, Arsenal are a good team. Like, just lost Alexis there. I've got some decent players. They had, obviously, Aubameyang and they had, I think, Mkhitaryan. They both started. Obviously, the fans are probably up for it. And everything just looked like it's got blew away. It's kind of alluding to what you said. The defence was shocking. And none of them really looked like... You look at Ramsey's first goal, he's just drilled it low from the right hand. That's like a FIFA goal or something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's nothing,
double tap circle.
Yeah, that's nothing special, but it undone them. And then they... I can't remember who scored the second, but it's like they just kept on scoring. I think it was Cristiano or something got the second one. And then the game was over kind of thing, and it's only about 15 minutes in. So yeah, I think he can... Again... It's kind of Mkhitaryan was kind of like that for us. So if he was winning, Mkhitaryan's a good player to have around. But if we're not winning, you know what I'm saying? Like he's not the player who's gonna kind of drag your he's gonna drag your team from a losing position to a winning position. And not consistently for me anyway. But yeah,
Atletico's goal was just. Did you see that?
Yeah,
that was amazing goal.
But I think like I say, I think Mkhitaryan obviously he's benefited from obviously having a good start. He's played a part in that. But fair play to him.
I'm happy for him. I don't care if Arsenal win. They're not bothering us.
Well, it's fine again. Like I said earlier about Liverpool, I don't watch Arsenal and then think like, oh, I hope they lose. If again going back to the point I said earlier is like, if I have to hope that like Everton beat Arsenal just so they don't catch up with us, what does that say about us?
Arsenal are 6 points away from Liverpool, 5 points from Chelsea, who are in fourth, but Chelsea have a game in hand. Can Arsenal still get into the top 4? No, sorry. Will Arsenal get into the? I know they can. Can's a different question. So will they? There's a table if you want.
Yeah, no, they could, but I think it's tight, to be honest.
Because they've gathered together pretty good attack. I think they've lost Giroud, lost Walcott, lost Sanchez. I'd say 2 of those 3 players, ideally, if I'm an Arsenal fan, I want to keep. Giroud and Sanchez. Walcott don't really care about. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain, whatever. Got 40 million for him, got a great deal. But bringing in Aubameyang, bringing in Mkhitaryan, great bit of business. How do you see them going forward? And I don't mean in terms of attack, I just mean, are Arsenal going to be a Europa League team now?
To me, it kind of looks that way, like they're.
And I'm not trying to be funny Arsenal fans that are watching.
Yeah, no. Like I said, they could finish top 4, but to me, it's like they've got players where, again, like slew my tracksuit and that. Like, you know what I'm saying, it doesn't bother me, but it's like Dortmund were in the Europa or whatever. So Aubameyang's used to the Europa.
Yeah.
McTominay, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, he's been in Champions League this season, but it's like he was in the Europa last season. He's won it. So, you know what I'm saying? He's not averse to playing in it. He come from Dortmund, who again was in the Europa. So, you kind of sign players where it's like you don't they're not, you know, Aubameyang, it doesn't sound like Aubameyang's got this as, yo, like, if we're not in the Champions League next season, you know, I'm not staying around.
Can Aubameyang play in the Europa League for them?
No.
Okay, so he can't. So I was about to ask, do you think they can win the Europa to get Champions League football? But without Aubameyang, Sanchez, Giroud, Walcott, they ain't got enough to do that.
To be honest, this is what I said last season. I said from like at the start of the season of last season, I said the competition that we had to win would be the Europa League. This is talking about last season, because I think it is, as much as people get onto it and that is, I think it kind of shows good intent in Europe, and I think that boosts your reputation in Europe, and it is a hard competition to win. And I think the fact that we won it, and obviously even at times we had to scrape through some ties, and it wasn't like we battered everyone on the way to the final or nothing.
Celta Vigo was difficult, and Anderlecht was difficult.
Yeah, and it's hard games, and it's like I just don't think Arsenal have got that within them to go and win it. I think if again, obviously Liverpool, I think the season before, if they got to the final, Sevilla, they battered them.
Like, they got.
There was a couple goals up, and you know what I'm saying, he's lost it. Yeah, like it's a hard competition to win. Like, so I don't think personally, I don't think Arsenal can. I don't think they can win it. If they win it, then fair play to them.
I don't mind in that competition now, isn't it?
I think they're still in it. Yeah.
And they got Napoli.
Yeah, there's quite a few decent teams, so it's like again, it's a hard competition to win. I don't think they'll win it.
I don't think they'll win it either.
If they, I just don't. I think he is kind of focusing on the Premiership though. Me personally, I've seen some of the sides.
I think that's why they've been forced into that Aubameyang signing, because they've lost Giroud, lost Sanchez. Yeah, so then they've probably thought, yo, we need some firepower to actually get into the Champions League, because we've not got Giroud, Sanchez, Walcott, or Aubameyang in the. So we've got no goals in the Europa League. We've kind of sold our chance of winning that. So we need something in the Premier League.
Maybe. To be honest, I don't think Arsenal get forced into doing anything. Because you just
I disagree with that, because I felt like the Lacazette signing was one that normally they probably don't make.
But they needed a striker. But I think that's kind of the like, it's still kind of cheap, really. Like, you've got like, if you know what I'm saying, Lukaku 75 mil, Morata's went for similar money. You know what I'm saying? You got.
He's probably the going rate, innit?
It's like he's a good striker, Lacazette, but to me he's not as like.
I don't think he's top 5 in Premier League.
Nah, you know what I'm saying? I don't think he don't even play for France, innit? You know what I'm saying? He don't get a sniff.
So I've seen him start, like, sometimes I don't watch France, but when I check their teams and I think, oh, is Martial starting, and I see Lacazette starting, I think,
I think he's got a lack of caps for France, but going back to my point, I don't think Arsenal get forced into anything, because they've had that much kind of media attention on what their fans actually want, and they just don't move. So I think some of the changes they made behind the scenes may have impact on that, because I think there's a guy who works at Arsenal now who apparently used to work for Dortmund, brought Aubameyang in. And so I think maybe that's where, like, I don't know, maybe like it's like Wenger's kind of losing the control, where, like, you know what I'm saying, they're saying, nah, we want, maybe, you know what I'm saying, previously Wenger be like, nah, I think it's too much money.
Definitely setting up for his departure.
Or they look like they are changing though, because like I said, they've actually invested. Like, yeah, they have obviously recouped quite a lot of money, like under the sneakily under the
wages
radar,
and that as well.
Like the Walcott business is.
Walcott was on high wages, because if you look at, they've taken off Walcott, Giroud, Sanchez, who I'm guessing are in the top 5 earners at the club when they were there, and then they've given Özil his extra money, which is probably like Walcott's wage per week has been added onto his, and you think Aubameyang's probably on Alexis money, so they're probably still around about the same, but
even I don't think even the money that I think they were saying, like, again, obviously this is all just reported.
They still have a shit defence as Pedder.
That's my point when you're talking about going back to the, like, 4th in the league. I just don't think that. Just based on their defense, as good as their attack may be, I think their defending, is just shocking. And they may have won 5-1 or whatever yesterday, but it's like you look at the statistics in the Premier, how much they've conceded. It's a lot of goals, and that will cost you games. So that's why I don't think they'd win the Europa either, to be honest. But I think they'll be, like, I don't know, they're still a good team. On a day they can beat anyone. I think that's the same with anyone in the league. Like, on your day, I think most teams can beat other teams. Like, kind of like Tottenham against us. You know what I'm saying? On their day,
they battered us, bastards. I've just seen something which really upset me. The Premier League top goal scorers ever of all time are still open on the laptop, and Berbatov is on 94, Van Nistelrooy is on 95, Solskjaer's on 91, and Yakubu's above them.
Yakubu is a finisher, living finisher.
He scored a lot of goals, and so are Crouch and Darren Bent above them as well. James Beattie is just below them. He's on the same amount of goals as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
What's that?
Dennis Bergkamp.
Kevin Davis and that.
Dennis Bergkamp has got less Premier League goals than Kevin Davis, but Arsenal fans will tell you he's the Messiah.
Nah, technically Bergkamp is tidy.
I'm playing. I think that's pretty much it for today. We had a few questions. One of them was King Ibrahim said, thoughts on getting Toby Alderweireld? He has 1 year left on his contract and he's proven Premier League quality. Has he really got 1 year left on his contract? If he has, I'm guessing it's 18 months and it's 1 year from the summer. And I'm guessing Spurs don't pay big money, do they? And if they don't start winning trophies, their players are going to be looking. We're talking about Kane, but Alderweireld, Eriksen, Ali, they're going to be looking to go.
Well, maybe Alderweireld. I think that's why he's probably winding down his contract, because obviously I think he's just trying to get the best deal. But I don't think Eriksen goes anywhere else. So I think Ali would probably like to go somewhere else, but I don't think. Although he is good, I don't think he's as good as.
He'll probably be one of the last to leave, innit, Ali?
I just don't know where he goes. Do you really think that Madrid are gonna buy him, and then, like, you know, bro, you're kind of expected now to?
I do think someone like Chelsea would take him, though.
Yeah, that's. But what's the point moving from?
They're
Chelsea
building up Barkley, Drinkwater, and Ali.
That sounds like, would you move from? If I was at Spurs, and someone said you can go to Chelsea, like, what's the point? It's in the same city and that.
But money's a point.
Yeah, no, but you could, surely Spurs can just because
Spurs famously don't pay the going rate of other clubs.
Yeah, but if your man says, brother, I don't need to leave, if you just pay me what I'm worth, I'll happily stay here. I think you'd be like, especially because you haven't got to pay no transfer fee. You'd be like, if you then you leave, you'd be stupid because you're thinking, okay, I could say if he wants 300 grand or whatever, and it's like, how much is it going to cost me to get someone on Dele Alli's level? And you're going to have to pay a certain amount, and then this days in the Asian market, that's a lot, and then plus wages, and it's like, I'm sure that all that money in total would just cover Dele Alli to give him what he wants if he wants to stay. I just don't think. I don't think Madrid were after him, to be honest.
Alderweireld, though, answer the question: would you have him? Yes or no?
Would I have him? I wouldn't buy him now. I think he's a good. If you got him for free, then I'd take him all day. But I just wouldn't. Like, I wouldn't buy him at this point. No.
Amon Gaming says, "Where do you think United will finish in the Champions League?" And Matthew Shamas says, "What has to happen for United to win the Champions League?" So, kind of group them together. I think we'll get to like quarters, semis.
Yeah. To be honest, I'm quite optimistic, to be honest, because at the same time we are Manchester United. I think in a set game, just a tie, I think Jose Mourinho is like a master tactician in terms of. I don't think when he won it with Inter, when he won it with Porto, there was not the best team. in there at all. But over 2 legs, he's beating these teams. Obviously, he beat us, beat Lucky.
Do you think he's got the defence though? Because we've seen our defence in games against bigger teams sometimes when we try and. But then I know tactically he'll do a job, but if we haven't got Bailly, have we got a strong enough defence?
No, not without him. I don't think. I think we could. I think you could maybe change the team in a sense and be like set up a, so I have probably match real deep and stuff like that. So I think you could, if there was a tie and it's like we've got a lead, I think Jose would be able to try and protect it. But the main thing that I think in the Champions League is goals and it's you look at the other top teams and it's literally like like Barca can play football, bang. You give Suarez a chance, goal. Messi a chance, goal. Real Madrid, it's like as much as they'll be poor in the league, whatever. But in a one-off game, Ronaldo gets a chance.
All their eggs are going in the Champions League basket now. I think they're like 15, 16 points. That's even with Barcelona drawing today against. I think it was Espanyol.
Going back to the question, I just think that I think we could go far. I mean, I'm optimistic, so I'm hoping maybe semis. Maybe the final, but I just think because obviously as much as you say that,
I'm getting. I'm always thinking of it.
Yeah, I don't think we're the best team in Europe, but I don't think necessarily. Well, Madrid have won the last couple of seasons or whatever, so it's like, you know what I'm saying.
There has to be a new winner, right?
Well, not necessarily, but it's like apart from Madrid kind of winning it. The years before, it's not always the best team in Europe that wins the Champions League. Them ones, like, if you look back, it's not. It's like, you know what I'm saying, it can be bits of luck, and I don't think with Mourinho, I think, and because we're just Manchester United, I'm just kind of, I think, like them games at Old Trafford and that.
Yeah,
I think
Mourinho,
sometimes like the atmosphere is
Manchester
different.
United signing Alexis, that can definitely help us. The finals in Kiev, so could it be Wembley? What was it? Where was the first one? Wembley. Where did we win them? Wembley, Barcelona, Moscow, Kiev. Does that sound right? Is it going to happen?
I don't know. Like I said, it's wishful thinking, but at the same time, you don't have to be the best team. But over 2 legs, we could. If anything could happen, it's like PSG could just go out next round. Like we've got kind of a.
Well, PSG have got Real in it. Is it not that? Is it PSG Real? Some mad shit like that.
But it's like that's what I'm saying. Some of the big teams can knock each other, and it's like we could kind of get a decent draw, or all you need is like a piece of like a world class shot that, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know, like
Ronaldo at Porto.
Or like say McTominay plays the game, just ain't seen him score, but it's like he just wraps one in 40 yards or something, and it's like.
That when John O'Shea scored against Arsenal in the semi-finals.
It's like literally something like that can happen. Like, so
definitely can happen. Anyway, guys, that has been it for the weekend wrap today. What do you think of the new logo that are knocked together in like 5.5 minutes? Let me know in the comments below.
What am I saying for the I ain't necessarily watching, but the Super Bowl in it. I know is that what man's watching that or nah? No one in the comments is watching the Super Bowl.
I bet they'll be watching it because it's become a thing recently, innit?
I think there's usually a big over here still. I'm not, like I said, I ain't gonna watch it. I don't think.
You watching up? You staying up for it?
To be fair, I think it's on a bit earlier. But if it's on, I'll probably watch like the first, I don't know, and then fall asleep. But the Patriots will win, innit? That's all I know, bro.
Who's that? Tom Brady's team. Yeah, that's what I've heard.
This is dodgy. That's all dodgy. The Patriots will win. Like it's
dodgy.
Obviously, NFL.
Dodgy as in.
Obviously, like you look into Deflategate and all that, and it's like the ball's flat and all that madness. Like, trust me, I was in the East Coast like a month or so ago, and it's like the Patriots are massive out there, but the Patriots will win. If anyone's betting on that, the Patriots.
I didn't say that, by the way. So if you lose your money, direct.
If you win your money, I'm saying,
Twitter,
up at eBay
Dean's Twitter handle's right there as well. Yeah, so make sure you're following him up. Make sure you follow me on Twitter as well if you don't already. Liking, sharing, subscribing. I think February we have to get our first podcast out. I think that's the task for February, as well as continuing with the weekend wrap. So keep it locked. Follow us on Twitter. Subscribe on YouTube. We'll be back next weekend. United have got Newcastle on Sunday, so it'll probably be a Monday thing. So it'll probably be Monday next week. Well, it's going to be Monday next week. So we'll see you then for the weekend wrap, but we'll be back with more content during the week. Peace.